Morgan, and you can jump his stuff, Warrior Nation, at Warrior Nation NRL. Well, Luke Metcalf is online, and you probably just heard the last bit of that. Luke, welcome to the show, mate.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, look, that's the guy who bangs the drum when you probably hear him when you're sitting on the sideline or when you're playing. That's him. He's look. I say nutcase with the all the love in my heart. He's the guy that corrals together all the fans. So when you're playing away from home and the chant goes up, Warriors, Warriors, that's the guy.
Okay, that's good then.
Yeah, he's awesome, isn't he?
Yeah. No, it's good. You can actually always hear it too when you're on the field. You can hear the drum go, then you can hear the chant. But they get you up.
What does it feel like when you're away from home, like when you were at Parramatta a couple of weeks ago, and they're out? The Warriors fans are out shouting their mob.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, though, especially at an away game. Like you said, it's pretty. You don't get that too often if you're playing an away game, sort of get a chant going for your team. So that was to see the support we had there was pretty awesome. So if we can get that every away game, that's pretty good.
Congratulations on your form, especially over the last 6 or 7 games, and coming back from that hamstring injury. You've been playing really well, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that.
So, just talk us through, and I was stupid. I only just remembered this today, but you signed for the club in November 2021 after playing 6 games for Cronulla that year, and that's when you debuted. It must have been a hell of a decision to make. How did it come about?
So it was I played those 6 games at the back end of 2021, and I just remember my manager calling me one day and just saying that the Warriors want to talk to me, and I was a bit at the start, there wasn't too sure. I just went in with an open mind, and met with the Warriors, and just after that meeting, I was thinking, I think I've got to move to New Zealand. That was my first thing. I was like, I can't say no. It sounded like just really good. Just talking to the CEO, Cameron George, like just what he was saying, and talking about how that he thought the club was on the up and just everything like that. And it's probably one of the best decisions I've made so far in my career, I think. So, I haven't really looked back since.
He must have filled you full of confidence at that time. Like, what did he say? Did he talk to you about sort of increasing the squad strength, that kind of stuff? What did he lay down?
Yeah, it was a lot of that stuff, getting some veteran players in there, getting some good luck players like Dylan Walker and Mitch Barnett, who they've signed, and Murata Niokore, like just people like that who they've signed, and just to boost the squad. But then also he's just talking about the young people we've got there too. Like he's talking about Rocco Berry, and I know he's not there anymore, but he's like Reece Walsh, like people like that. He was sort of talking about saying that they've got a lot of young boys who are sort of on the up, and it was just really cool. And obviously last year it didn't go the way how the boys would have wanted it to, but I feel like this year they're reaping the rewards.
Yeah, I mean, so, you signed in November 2021, and then last year we just had a disaster and only won 6 games. It's incredible to think 2 of the last 16, given what's happened this year with 11 wins already. Did you at any stage have any doubts and think, oh, God, what am I doing?
No, not really. I knew that, last year was probably tough for the boys. Obviously, I wasn't there, but just from speaking to them now, I knew that would have been pretty tough. Obviously, living in Redcliffe, a lot of the boys' partners stayed in Auckland, and boys who are 19, 20, 21, been away from their families for so long. They'd already been away for a year and a half before that. So I knew they were probably going through a tough time, and there's probably a lot of stuff going on off the field that was probably could have been hindering them on the field. So it never really worried me one bit, really. It actually probably made me excited because I want to go in there and help and try and make a difference and make a change.
You sound like you're a real loyal dude. Is that a quality that you actually pride yourself on?
Sorry?
You sound like you're a very loyal kind of bloke. Is that a quality that you pride yourself on?
I'd like to think that, especially if someone's nice to me and shown me nothing but loyalty. Yeah, that's something that I'd like to think I would be. So if you're like that to me, then I'll more than happy be like that with you. Yeah, so.
Starting your career after COVID or in the middle of COVID as well, that's a hell of a time to actually, all of a sudden become a professional athlete, isn't there? There was so much uncertainty the year before. Did that play on your mind at all?
Yes, I was at Manly in 2020. I was just coming off an ACL injury, so I was hadn't really played in missed 2019 and 2020. I only played, I think, 1 game before the comp stopped, and I was a little bit worried then, and I ended up going back to Cronulla, and that worked out pretty good there. Ended up debuting and playing NRL, so I was a little during that period it was a weird time because I was at that age where I was about 20, 21, where you sort of want to be making like playing New South Wales Cup, but sort of pushing towards playing NRL, and I just found it actually pretty weird. I was a little bit worried, but once I found myself back at Cronulla and sort of got an opportunity there, I felt pretty good.
So it hasn't just been the easiest path, hasn't it? It hasn't all been handed to you on a plate. You've obviously had to fight through some things here.
Yeah. I felt like I haven't had the easiest run in the first grade. Obviously, when I was younger, I would have loved the old debut at 19 or 20 and just sort of have the smooth sailing. But I've sort of had a bit of the opposite. I had a few injuries and obviously tore my ACL when I think I was 20 and then missed all that year and just, had a couple little hurdles along the way and I ended up debuting when I was 22 at the end of 2021 and then I'm here now, 24 now, so I want to get my career going. I feel like it's going good so far and just want to keep getting better, and I'm just excited to see where I can take it.
Luke Metcalf is with us. Warriors on a real tear at the moment, people, and of course Friday night against Canberra, big tough game, that one. What's your best spot, mate? Is it 7 or 6, or are you interchangeable?
I like both. Hey, like I like at the moment I'm playing 6 and just sort of there playing sort of supportive role, sort of obviously Sean is our general and he's running the team, but I would like to think that eventually I can end up being a number 7. That's my aspiration. I want to be a halfback and lead a team and do all that sort of stuff. That's something that I really want to do as I go on throughout my career. So, but at the moment, I'm enjoying that 6 role. But I see myself eventually, hopefully, ending up being that being a halfback and being able to play that position.
Well, look, you've got a couple of guys here, Sean and Stacey at the club, who've actually worn that jersey just magnificently.
Yeah, it helps that having them still learn off Shawnee and to have Stacey there as a coach. It's two handy people to learn off. Anyway,
what are the best attributes that you think that you bring?
Obviously, I think my speed's probably something that probably jumps out to most people, or to myself as well. My speed, my running game is probably my best thing, especially that I can help the team with at the moment. I'd probably say that.
I loved your try celebration at the end too, mate. The arms to start going, give me some of this. Did that just happen? Was that just natural? I'm
not too sure. I sort of thought, I maybe thought about it, but it was sort of natural. But I would lie if I said I didn't really think that. I knew I was going to do something. I didn't know what though, but I knew I was going to do something.
Let's just go back to that decision that you made. So you're sitting down with the CEO and he's laid a plan out in front of you and you get excited by that. Who did you then go back and talk to? Who are the voices that you listen to at a time like that?
So my would have been my fiancée. Back then she was obviously just my girlfriend, but now she's my fiancée. She was obviously a big part because we were pretty young. We were only 22, so obviously she was probably the first person I spoke to after that, and she could tell in the way my voice was and how I was talking, she could tell. She said straight away, she's like, "You want to go, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah, right, I do." And but her and my dad are probably the two people, and obviously my manager as well. I really trust him, and he's really guided me through my career. So obviously him as well. But my partner and my dad probably the two biggest. My dad's I feel like he knows me pretty well in terms of footy because he's watched me play my whole life. So I feel like those two were pretty, speaking to them. And I spoke to Sean. I spoke to people like Chad Townsend, who I was at Cronulla with, who done something similar when he was younger. He came over about the same age. So I spoke to a couple of people who had done something similar, and they all pretty much said the same thing.
Luke Metcalf is with us, Warriors. I've got a couple more questions, a couple more minutes, if that's okay, mate.
That's all good.
Okay. So, one of the things I'm always fascinated with of you Aussie blokes who come over here. I mean, you're a Sydney boy. You grow up in New South Wales and things. I mean, it's a fantastic city. It's got a great climate and everything else. How big a deal is it to uproot and go, okay, I'm moving to New Zealand? Because, we are, a lot smaller and everything else. We're a one-team town. I know all of that kind of thing. But, it's like kind of moving into, I suppose, a smaller part of Australia almost.
Yeah. It's pretty, at the start, it was a little bit of a change for myself. But it makes it a lot easier having, for me personally, having someone to come over with and having my partner over here with me. And it just makes it a lot easier. You've got that companion, someone over here with, so... it's obviously it's a bit like I said, it's a bit different, the climate and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, sorry about the rain, brother. It's been raining.
It's all good. So it's a bit different, but I'm loving the city at the moment. Loving Auckland, getting to explore a new new city, and it's pretty cool. And so there's a good crew of boys over here who are in the same situation, who have moved from Australia, and they have got kids and stuff like that. So all the boys are really wanting to do stuff outside of football, which makes it easier too.
Yeah, I was wondering about, because we've had Dylan Walker on the program, we've had Marcelo on the program as well. Do you Aussie boys spend a bit of time just with yourselves?
Yeah, it sort of works out that way, just purely because we're all sort of everyone who moves over from Australia finds themselves living within 5 minutes of each other.
Right. Okay.
To Auckland, so so that's naturally ends up that sort of way. So yeah, spend a little bit of time. Mitch Barnett and Wade Egan, Rocket Berry, they sort of all live. We live within 30 seconds of each other. So
right.
Spend a bit of time with those boys.
The feeling in the camp at the moment, because it's very easy on my side of the microphone and for us fans and that to get carried away from here. Every single game in this competition has to be won. I know that you know that. I don't have to tell you that. And so where do you guys, how are you looking at it from here with 6 games to go, 4 of them in New Zealand, even though one of them in Hamilton is the away game and that? How do you look at it? Do you honestly approach it like all we think about is Friday night against Canberra?
Yeah, like as cliche as it is, that's all you really can do. Obviously, you want to win against Canberra this week. It's going to be a tough game. They're a really good team, and obviously we've got a good little run there with a lot of home games. So that's going to be good to sort of be at home, everyone be around family, and be able to play it out smart. But yeah, you can just take it every game as it comes. We've got to bye next week, so that obviously gives us a little bit of a freshen up to play. I think we've got 5 games left after that.
Yep.
Yeah, if we can just try and focus on every game and hopefully win all those would be pretty good. But yeah, just take it one game at a time and see what we can do from there.
Do you look at the points table much? Do you stare at that table? You should at the moment, mate.
You have a little gaze at it every now and then. You do have it like after every couple of weeks. It's not something I really pay too much attention to, but yeah, sort of have a little look at it. It's pretty tight at the moment, so it's going to be a good team who misses out, a couple of good teams who miss out on the 8 anyway. I know that because it's pretty close. So all we can do is just keep winning as many games as we can, and then we should find ourselves in the top 8 there.
Luke Metcalf, 2 quick questions. I'll let you go. And thank you so much for your time. You've been so generous with it, mate. I asked Marcelo this and also Dylan as well. When you're walking into Mount Smartway, mate, what's that feeling like? Just at training and stuff like that, walking into that stadium there, what do you feel like every day?
Yeah, it's good. It's just such a good vibe there, especially at the moment. Obviously helps when you're winning, but it's just such a good vibe at training, at game days. Like even on game day when you walk in there, you can just feel the energy and the passion, and with all the fans and stuff like that. So it's just it's exciting, and it just feels like a really good place to be at the moment. It does when you go on there, training days or game days.
Yeah, because look, you've had a full house every single... I mean, these are the best crowds since 1995, before you were born. I mean, this is when the Warriors first started. 20,000 fans in there. It's got to be uncomfortable for the opposition. I know that a lot of Aussie players come over and they say, I hated going and playing the Warriors at Penrose. I hated it. That's the whole point of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It works in our favour, it does. There's nothing better than running out there and there's 25,000 people there and it's just packed and they're right behind you, and they're in the game for every minute as well. You hear them for the whole 80 minutes. So yeah. I can only imagine what it would be like for an away team. But we love it. We do as running out to that crowd, and we're getting a win in front of that crowd. It's pretty awesome, mate. It's one of my favourite things I've been doing at the moment. So I'm glad we've got a few more home games.
You're giving us 15 minutes of your time. That's more than enough. I thank you so much. So appreciate it. Keep playing as well as you're playing, mate, and all the very best for the rest of the season, Luke.
Yeah, thanks so much, mate. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it back. Thank you so much. Brilliant. Luke Metcalf with us, ladies and gentlemen.